What if I told you? One phone call destroyed a superstar's career. 99% of fans don't know this secret. And by the end of this video, you'll see why one decision tarnished a legacy forever. In 2021, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, a striker with 9 straight seasons of a goal or assist every 102 minutes, got a call that changed everything. His mother had suffered stroke. He flew to France, stayed an extra night to stabilize her, and returned to Arsenal just in time. But Mikel Arteta didn't care. He called Aubameyang a traitor, stripped him of the captaincy, and froze him out of the squad. The same player who'd carried Arsenal to an FA Cup title months earlier, now labeled problem. I'll reveal the psychological trigger Arteta used to justify this, the controversial tactic he stole from Guardiola, and the one tweak Aubameyang begged for that could have saved his career. But before we dissect Arteta's fatal mistake, you need to understand how Aubameyang went from an AC Milan reserve training alongside Kak and Ronaldo to becoming the fastest striker on earth. But first, what if I told you his father's luck changed everything? Here's the twist. Aubameyang wasn't supposed to make it. He started as an AC Milan reserve, training alongside legends like Kak and Ronaldo. Not because he was a prodigy, but because his father worked there as a scout. And how does Dad get that job? Pure luck. He missed a plane, ended up hitching a ride with AC Milan CEO, and impressed him so much that he landed a job on the spot. That's how Aubameyang got his foot in the door. But even then, he was overlooked. His brother Willie had already been let go after years in the academy, and at 19, Aubameyang was loaned out to Dijon. He scored 10 goals in his debut season, got called up to the French and Italian U21 teams, but chose to represent Gabon instead, following his father's legacy. Then came the struggles, failed loans, being sent back to Milan with his tail between his legs, and at 22, he was on his 4th club in 18 months. But everything changed when he found out he was going to be a father. He said, "I wanted my son to be proud of me, to be his hero like my father was mine." That's when he transformed into a war machine. But how did he go from being a forgotten loanee to one of the deadliest strikers on the planet? But first, what if I told you his Spider-Man celebrations had a dark secret behind them? By the time Aubameyang arrived at Saint Etienne, he was a man on a mission. After spending the entire summer training nonstop, he exploded onto the scene, scoring 18 goals and 8 assists in his first full season, the most by a Saint Etienne player in 14 years. His speed was unmatched. Teammates joked that they didn't even need to pass accurately because Aubameyang would outrun everyone to the ball. He celebrated goals with a Spider-Man mask, paying tribute to a local legend, and even led Gabon to the African Cup of Nations knockout stage for the first time in history. But it wasn't just his talent. It was his work ethic. He became a fan favorite, dragging Saint Etienne to their first trophy in 32 years, even after his house and car were robbed on the day of the final. Clubs like Man United and Man City came calling, but Aubameyang chose Dortmund, believing Jurgen Klopp could turn him into the next Lewandowski. And he was right. On his debut, he scored a hat trick, and by February, he had 16 goals and 17 starts. But just as he was about to take over as Dortmund's main striker, they signed Ciro Immobile as Lewandowski's replacement. So what did Aubameyang do? He outscored, outplayed, and humiliated Immobile, becoming the Bundesliga's top scorer. But how did he go from being Dortmund's hero to Arsenal's scapegoat? But first, what if I told you his move to Arsenal was already doomed from the start? When Aubameyang joined Arsenal in 2018, he was at the peak of his powers, coming off back-to-back Bundesliga Golden Boots and a record-breaking season at Dortmund. But behind the scenes, the move was a time bomb waiting to explode. Just 2 months after his arrival, Arsene Wenger announced his retirement, leaving Aubameyang as the face of a club in turmoil. Despite the chaos, he delivered, scoring 10 goals in his first 13 games and helping Arsenal win the FA Cup. Under Unai Emery, he continued to shine, leading the team on an 18-match unbeaten run and finishing as joint Premier League Golden Boot winner. But then, disaster struck. Emery was sacked, and Mikel Arteta took over. Almost immediately, Arteta began pushing Aubameyang out of position, forcing him to play on the wing despite his success as a central striker. The results were devastating. His goal output dropped, and Arsenal's form collapsed. Then came the infamous incident in 2021, when Aubameyang missed a match to care for his hospitalized mother. Arteta publicly humiliated him, stripping him of the captaincy and freezing him out of the squad. But here's the shocking truth. This wasn't just about discipline. Arteta's decision was rooted in a deeper, more controversial strategy. So, what was Arteta really trying to achieve? But first, what if I told you Aubameyang's downfall was already written in the stars? New chat. After being frozen out at Arsenal, Aubameyang's career spiraled. He joined Barcelona on a free transfer, and for a brief moment, it seemed like a revival, scoring 11 goals in 17 games, including a hat-trick against Valencia and a brace against Real Madrid. Xavi called him a gift from heaven, and fans believed he was back to his best. But then, disaster struck again. Barcelona's financial crisis forced them to sell him to Chelsea, where he reunited with Thomas Tuchel. But just 5 days after his arrival, Tuchel was sacked, and Aubameyang found himself sidelined once more. Despite scoring in his first 4 games, he was benched by new manager Graham Potter and left unregistered for the Champions League knockout stages. By the end of the season, he was on the move again, this time to Marseille, where he miraculously rediscovered his form, scoring 31 goals and becoming the Europa League's all-time top scorer. But even then, the damage was done. At 34, Aubameyang accepted a move to the Saudi Pro League, ending his European career. So, what's the real reason behind his downfall? Was it Arteta's mismanagement, bad luck, or was something deeper? But first, what if I told you Aubameyang's story holds a shocking lesson for every aspiring athlete? New chat. The real lesson from Aubameyang's story isn't just about talent or hard work. It's about timing and decisions. At every critical juncture, external forces derailed his momentum. From Arteta's ruthless management to Barcelona's financial collapse and Chelsea's managerial chaos. But here's the twist. Aubameyang's downfall also exposes a harsh truth about modern football. Clubs prioritize systems over individuals, and loyalty is often one-sided. Even after reviving his career at Marseille, the Saudi Pro League's lucrative offer was too good to refuse, signaling the end of his European journey. Yet, despite the setbacks, Aubameyang's resilience is undeniable. He fought through malaria, COVID, and heart complications, proving his passion for the game never wavered. So what's the takeaway? Talent alone isn't enough. You need the right environment, the right support, and a bit of luck. But here's the biggest question. Could Aubameyang have avoided this fate if he'd made different choices? But first, what if I told you his legacy isn't over yet? Aubameyang's story isn't just a cautionary tale. It's a reminder that even the greatest careers can be derailed by factors beyond control. But here's the thing, his legacy isn't over. At 34, he's still scoring goals, breaking records, and proving that true passion for the game never fades. Whether it's his incredible rise from AC Milan's reserves to becoming one of the deadliest strikers on the planet, or his ability to bounce back time and time again, Aubameyang's journey is far from finished. And that's the beauty of football. It's never too late for a comeback. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating careers in modern football, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future stories. Because here, we don't just talk about football, we uncover the untold stories behind the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.